Hi Pine class, it's Thursday morning and it's time for maths. So far this week we've looked how to multiply numbers by 10 and 100 and you've learnt the rules for those. And yesterday you also started to create some of your own multiplication sentences using visual representations, and it was fantastic to see all of the resources from your homes you used to show your multiplication sentences. Now our focus is going to shift a little bit for the rest of this week onto our times tables. We all know how important those are. And you are going to today create your own multiplication grid that goes up to 12 times 12. Now, I've had a go at creating my multiplication grid, as you can see in front of you, but my multiplication grid only goes up to 8 times 8. But yours is going to go up to 12 times 12, and I've provided a template for you on Class Story that you can use. Now, I just want to remind you about how these work before we look at a few patterns. So, the phrase you need to remember when trying to compile your multiplication grid is along the corridor, up the stairs. So, if we look this side, if I start along the corridor, this is 1, and up the stairs times 1. Along the corridor, 1 times 2 gives me 2. Along the corridor, 1 times 3 gives me 3. 1 times 4 gives me 4. So that's the way that these grids work. You must go along the corridor and up the stairs. So what you will get is a grid with these top numbers all the way up to 12 and these bottom numbers all the way up to 12, and all the rest of this will be blank. So it's going to be up to you to fill in the missing squares. Now, I want to draw your attention to a pattern that I found when I did my 8 times 8 multiplication grid. And I was looking particularly at my 2s, 4s and 8 times tables, and I found a pattern. So if we look at the 2s column, so 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 4 is 8, etc. Went all the way to 2 times 8, which gives me 16. Then, when I started looking at my 4s, so 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 8, 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12, I noticed a pattern, and I wonder whether you've noticed a pattern as well. So the pattern I noticed is that for the 4 times table, each answer doubles what it is in the 2 times table. So look, double 2 is 4, double 4 is 8, double 6 is 12, double 8 is 16, double 10 is 20, double 12 is 24, double 14 is 28, and double 16 is 32. So a really easy way to work out some answers in my 4 times table is to double the answers I get in my 2s. So if I know my 2s really well, I can use that pattern to help me with my 4s. And the same applied with the 8s. When I looked at the answers to the 4 times table, I found that the answers to the 8 times table would double the 4s. So, double 4 is 8, double 8 is 16, double 12 is 24, double 16 is 32, double 20 is 40, etc. So I noticed those patterns when I was making my multiplication grid. So what I want you to look out for when you're making your multiplication grid is to see if you can spot any patterns. And let me know, write down any patterns that you spot. You could even colour code them in the way that I've done on mine. On your grids, I've also put a couple of extra questions in the margin that I'd like you to have a go at. Now, the other thing that you can do to practice your times tables is, of course, to go onto your Times Tables Rockstars account. I did send all of that information out before lockdown started, but if you need that resent, please do let me know and I will send that to you. And you can also battle each other on there. So it would be really good to get a few battles going on Times Tables Rockstars. Good luck, and I'm looking forward to seeing your multiplication grids, and I'm looking forward to seeing if you spot any patterns.